friends, welcome to a new video, and this one is just a little time lapse of me working in my sketchbook. And you've seen me in my last art haul opening and reviewing some of the vintage ephemera that I recently purchased, and this sheet that I'm using right now is actually something I purchased after I released the video, but it's from the same set, it's just a larger format. And I decided to go back to some of the pages in my sketchbooks that I left unfinished and just try to use the ephemera to add some texture and add some interesting looks to my sketchbook and make my pages more complete to have a nice finished spread. And I've just used Mod Podge to glue the sheet to my sketchbook page, and I use a matte Mod Podge just in case it spills somewhere on the side. It doesn't give any of the glossy looks. And I applied gesso right over it quite thickly, but as it was drying, it was actually drying to a little bit more transparent look, so I started seeing a little bit more of the text underneath as the gesso was drying. So I also decided to add a little bit on top of that and to really layer some of the other ephemera that I had on hand and to create a more layered look. And I've decided to do this just to get out of my comfort zone a little bit, something I've never done before, but I always loved watching other artists do it, and I had a lot of the sort of a junk journal spread ideas to say in my Pinterest, but never really had the courage to dive in and to just explore some of my own ideas for these vintage looks and for these spreads. So I'm really happy I'm finally doing it, and I'm really enjoying doing something different and changing the looks of my sketchbook pages. So on top of the gesso, I'm actually going to be adding a gouache sketch, and the acrylic gesso needed just about a couple hours to be completely dry and ready for me to start adding gouache on top of it. And another reason I wanted to release this video is because this is not the first try actually that I had going with the adding ephemera and layering in my sketchbook, and just not just layering different collages, but also working with paint in different ways and experimenting with more of a mixed media on the same page. And it's given me such a joy and such a freedom that I wanted to do more of it, and I wanted to share with others. I have decided to change my $5 tier on Patreon to be a Sketchbook Club. So originally it was just a digital download tier where I was just adding sort of a digital PDF guides to all of my tutorials. So the video tutorials are available for the $15 tier and up, and the $5 tier was just the digital download. And I decided to add more to that without adding a separate tier. And I was thinking that maybe not everybody is interested in art tutorials or in learning techniques, the ways that I work, but I wanted to share a little bit more of just what I do in my sketchbook without necessarily turning that into a lesson. So I wanted to add the $5 tier as now my Sketchbook Club. So what a Sketchbook Club is just going to be me sharing some of the prompts that I use for my sketchbook, creating some of the prompts for filling up my sketchbook, and just being more playful in what I do, documenting some of my sketches so they're not just lost on the pages of my sketchbooks, and it's just more fun to look back and look at the videos of how I create the sketches and not just the finished paintings. So I wanted to create a community for that, where we can all just come together and sketch together. You can sketch along with me. You can try something else, you can share your ideas, and we can chat about different techniques or different looks for our sketches, or different challenges for filling up the pages of the sketchbook. And I'm not going to be teaching any lessons, but I'm happy to share what materials I use, to show some swatches maybe of materials that I'm using, or something new that I'm trying out. And I think it's going to be a great way also for me to stay more accountable and to stay more committed, not just to producing final works, but to also give more time to my sketches and continue developing my style and explore new ideas in the sketchbook. Because I've noticed a big improvement anytime that I was trying to be more consistent with making sketches and not necessarily large paintings. And it all adds up. It all then helps me with creating sketches and producing larger finished works. So I'm really enjoying this process, and I'm now happy that I have a platform like Patreon to share with other people. So if you're into that, if you want to have some fun in your sketchbook, again, you can just do your own thing, but we're just going to do it all together in one place. So go ahead and take a look at my Patreon, send me a message here on YouTube or there. I will be posting more videos on the Patreon from now on. I will still be sharing some of the videos here on YouTube, just I will be more active on Patreon and sharing videos there weekly and sharing some posts weekly. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you come say hi on my Patreon page in my Sketchbook Club. Bye!